Welcome to the Rural Juror Brewery Tour. I'm Seth. With me in spirit is Jay. Today's a very special live episode. This is all about the Meuse Brewing Company, and especially this particular beer, the PawPaw. And this one really struck my eye. It really just caught it and made me say, what exactly is PawPaw? I've never heard of this beer style. I've never heard of this other than in the Bare Necessities movie, right? If you pick a paw and the PawPaw and that whole song, they're talking about a fruit called the PawPaw. Well, apparently, the PawPaw fruit is actually native to our area in southwestern Ontario. So in Norfolk County, which is where Meuse is, they're just outside of Scotland, Ontario, PawPaw is native to there. So Meuse, as a brewery, they like to do a lot of different Belgian-style beers. So lambics especially, which is a natural yeast, or I guess it's a natural brewing process whereby you're not adding yeast, you're allowing the natural yeast from the outside world to come in and start the fermentation. Usually you get a bit of a sour, a funky, sometimes people call it a barn floor kind of vibe to it, taste to it. But it has a really interesting thing. And every year it's always different, obviously, depending on when you're doing it and what's in the air at the time. There are parts there are brewers in Belgium that won't move because they believe the natural yeasts in the building and in the area are what make that beer so special, especially for the lambic brewers. So Meuse is a really interesting brewery because they're doing that around here. There are a few breweries that are trying to do the lambic thing, but these guys are doing it very, very well. In fact, in 2020 was a landmark year for them. They won 2 silvers, gold, and best beer in class at the Ontario and the Canadian Beer Awards. Just an absolutely outstanding year. Let's get down to this beer, though. So the PawPaw. So the PawPaw is a fruit tree that is essentially kind of between a mango and a banana. And it's kind of an odd looking fruit. There's not many of them left around here, but there are certainly trees and fruit you can get at certain times of the year, obviously during, when it's ready. Surprise, surprise. And so they decided to take what is usually a Kriek, K-R-I-E-K beer, which is a Belgian style lambic, which is typically brewed with cherries, sour cherries. And so they did a Kriek, or Crike, I'm not sure how to say it, but they did one of those. And then they also did a flamboise, you can tell I'm totally French, or raspberry. And so they did a version of that. And then they decided to use a local fruit, the PawPaw. So this one is all ready to go. We have it all set. It's in a nice little tiny bottle. So this is usually the way that lambics work, I believe, is that it is fermented with the natural yeasts, and then it is aged for 3 years, and usually it's aged on the fruit. And then when it's put into the bottle, it's usually got a little bit more work to do. There's a little bit of sediment at the bottom, just a little bit of carbonation. Very consistent coloring all the way through, almost like a peach color or mango. Oh, wow. Certainly get that lambic sour smell to it. Very nice. I'm not getting a whole lot of fruit flavor. I'm just getting that, or smell. I'm just getting a lot of the sourness. Very gentle fruit. Very gentle lambic, a little bit of the sourness at the end, a little bit of that bitterness. I'm not sure if this if this one is hopped. Usually, the lambics are usually hopped with an aged hop, meaning that they actually age the hops to get rid of a lot of the bitterness. You just keep the I guess the preservative nature of the hops, which is why they were usually used in beer, typically. So I'm not getting any of that hop flavor or aroma or anything like that. It's all just the fruit in the lambic. But it's a very soft, very much like a mango. peach almost. Yeah, like a peach mango. Really, really nice. Just a beautiful beer. The funny thing is, I've never heard of this brewery. I just happened to find their Saison in an LCBO, looked them up, wanted to know more about them, went to the brewery. It's a nice little spot, very, very little, inside of a Quonset hut idea. And there's a few tables when things are open in this country, ever going to be again, maybe. But unfortunately, I don't think most of their beer is available online. I think they might do some shipping. There's no shipping through their website, so I'm sure you can call them and get them to send it out, or you could just visit them. It's a nice drive out there. There's lots of breweries out there to go check out. So check them out. Meuse Brewing in Scotland, Ontario, and the PawPaw. Got to check it out. Really neat beer. Anyways, thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on the Rural Juror Brewery Tour. Take care.